Thanks very much indeed for coming on the show this morning, Ian. A sad day. Just remind us how big HBC is. Give us a rough perspective here, because I mean they do still have a network of Saks and HBC stores across the country.
Yeah, they have around 80, of their large format department stores, mostly in suburban malls across the country. And I believe they're licensing, and I'm ballparkish, a couple of Saks and maybe 4 or 5 Saks off Fifth, which is the the low price, off price.
Yeah,
concept.
actually, according to TD, it's still 13 Saks off Fifth Avenue stores. I didn't realize it was that big. But as you say, they have 3 Saks stores and 80 HBC. What went wrong? According to TD here, I mean, the signs of pain and of distress were evident. They couldn't even keep the elevators and escalators running in some cases.
I know. I guess my metaphor is you can have a human who's neglected their body and their health for decades, and then you kind of see what's going on with them in the here and now and think it's the disease that's getting them. But there's a lot of roots to this. But I think you're right in that it's really been the last couple of years that's seen the precipitous fall. But there's a lot going on in build up to that, Andy.
Yeah, so they went private, I believe, just in advance of COVID. So that was a tough time for any retailer.
So if you kind of take the seeds of their heyday, really was growing with the suburbs, with joint ventures with real estate firms putting in anchors in these malls all across Canada. Same happened in the States with department stores. And they kind of were in a heyday, 70s, 80s. A lot of people would be surprised to hear that they were amazing training grounds for the best retail executives. Same with Eaton's. But over time, there's just a drip erosion. In the last few years, I will admit that they've been sort of buffeted by worst case scenarios. They've had COVID. They've had the supply chain issues that came after that. Post-COVID, people were either remote working or at best hybrid, so the demand for clothing, which is their forte, was really down. The brands they had in there were selling direct online and building out their own store networks and online marketplaces. You can go on and on. Tariffs is the latest, interest rates. You can add it all up, but in my mind, it just sped up what was probably going to be an eventuality anyway.
And you're hearing that maybe 20 of the stores of the 80 are profitable?
I heard that last summer talking to an insider in the organization, in a good position to comment on that. So I don't know where they're at now, but by last fall, it was sort of 20-ish, maybe a bit more, were profitable locations out of the 80. Yep.
Was this a case of private equity taking over a business that it really didn't understand?
I think it understood it, but I think what it understood was it was in a sort of a sunset format. And that's not just Hudson Bay Company, but the idea of a multi-brand reseller that really the forte was on deep customer service of the middle class. But, with all the other factors that were at play, it needed a reinvent. But I think the group that came in, and it's been privately, it's been run by equity people for quite some time before 2019. I think they saw it for the real estate value. And basically with sweetheart rent deals in all these malls, they were kind of addicted to the idea that they have a cost advantage, and we're just trying to keep the model alive as long as they could to extract return out of it, as opposed to, hey, we need a bold reinvention, a true reinvention of a brand.
Right. Now, apparently US Saks Global is not tied up in this thing. So is it just the Canadian stores?
Yeah. So I think that was the writing on the wall, Andy, was last year when they broke the organization apart, and Saks, they had money internally, which they weren't putting into Hudson Bay Company, by the way, but they did have substantial funds internally that they had on hand, and they They then raised more capital and they bought Neiman Marcus, which is an iconic sort of luxury and department store chain in the US. And they created Saks Global to look at the upmarket, the luxury market, which still has some potential. And in doing so, they carved out Hudson Bay Company. And I think in that moment, I kind of felt like, well, that's kind of the writing on the wall here.
Yeah, I'm kind of reminded of Eaton's. I know that's many years ago that it fell, but perhaps that model is just obsolete. I think I remember reading years ago that it's tough to run department stores in Canada because Canadians always insist on price cuts and bargains.
Well, yeah, but who taught them that, right? It was the Bay and Eaton's. They had Bay Days forever, and I think that becomes an addictive strategy by default. And shoppers are smart, and if they learn that's the value proposition you're giving them, then they're going to act accordingly. And I think that's one of the barriers. Once you get too deep into that, it's hard to come out of it. I would argue that, again, privately held, I don't know if the numbers, but I think Holtz is holding their own. They aim more luxury end.
Right.
And really interesting model is Simon's out of Quebec, also a very iconic in that province, iconic brand and department store. What's different about them is they have smaller space, but they have about 70% of the product in there is their own product. Mm-hmm. And that I think one of the risky areas in retail the last 5 to 10 years has been in multi-brand reselling, right? Because you can get all those brands so many places. It's not sort of a unique, exclusive curation anymore. But Simon's has 70% product is their own, the only place you get it, Simon's. So signals are when they're going into Yorkdale, et cetera, that they seem to be doing something right.
Dave.